if you're an entrepreneur and you just launched a new company, in your case you have a tech startup, how are you thinking of taking advantage of this technology and utilizing it in a real case scenario for your app?
Right. For me, number one, it would be the security aspect, the safety net that it has. So to make sure as we grow, more data is acquired and so on within the company. So we have to protect that. So integrating that. And then second, by having the methods of payments as well. So we use Stripe as on the back end for our technology. And Stripe also has some of the cryptocurrencies already within their ecosystem as well, within the technology built in. Eventually, we'll take baby steps. We'll integrate maybe some of the top 3 or 4 cryptos
And then
within our app.
how do you pay then your vendors? Because in your case, the app, you are providing roadside assistance
Exactly.
to the user. So then when you're going to pay that mechanic, if you're taking crypto, how are you going to?
Yeah, so clients, since there is an adoption and there are a lot of users now and clients that potentially will have a crypto wallet, and they can easily pay with Ethereum, or they can pay with BTC or Ripple. We'll have maybe 2 or 3 options, not too many. But this is all coming later on. This is not right now. Right now it's just going to be USD. Let's just make it clear, USD right now. But as we see this space growing and more adoption coming into play, I truly believe that even some of our specialists would love to have that option. We'll provide the option. It will be there. And we'll test the waters and see how it's going to be the implementation. But having that changes everything, because now in real time it will be less fees, because there are fees associated for every transaction whenever the specialist withdraw from our platform into their bank account.
And you get from Stripe too. Like when you use
Exactly.
Stripe,
So Stripe collects the fee and to make that transfer. So by having a wallet integrated, a crypto wallet integrated within our app, it's going to be pennies for that transfer. So and it's just going to be in real time, and overall will be a way easier method, and they can get paid that fast.
By the way.
So versus waiting for the check that comes in the mail, with some of the complaints that we had with these big players in the space, insurance companies and so on.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So in your case, you're trying to disrupt an industry that usually tech wouldn't go into that.
Yeah, and because it was born out of necessity. So
yeah, tell me about that, because I think it was super cool. Like when you and I first met, you told me about the app. I was like, I could see it immediately. Like, of course, this would be something. But
thank you.
Your app looks super cool.
Thank you.
I bet it was a lot of work. So how do you, in current times, if someone is trying to think about building their own app, how would you go about that, like starting from scratch?
I mean, I will speak on our experience starting from scratch from day one, from being stuck on the side of the road to having that bad experience, which left a bad taste in our mouth, and I teamed up with my brothers, which we all have our tech background because of our father, and he's also an engineer, mathematician, and we were surrounded early on with technology. So even myself, so he had this old computer, those IBMs at home, and when he would go to work, we would stay at home with the nannies and so on, and I would go and take maybe like a memory RAM or maybe a hard drive, something small, and he would come home and the computer's not working. But taking mine, he's coming home and he has to continue working and so on. He's trying to troubleshoot, and then he finds that part in my room next to my toys. So I get in trouble, get a whooping, but then fast forward, I think he got it, and then he gave me one of the old computers that was just sitting in there around my birthday. And honestly, and it was just all towards gaming, just to play video games and so on. But I will never forget, it was the FIFA came out, I think it was 2012, 2002, 2003. And our GPU, the graphics process unit,
Yeah.
it wasn't strong enough to run that game. So I asked him for, for money to buy a new GPU. And he told me no. He was like, no, what are you trying to do with it? Like, no. So I ended up getting copies of that FIFA that we were trying to play, and I was selling that in middle school. So I started selling. I got maybe 20 copies, and I was selling. Fast forward 2-3 weeks later, I was able to get the GPU, and it started from that. And then my brother, word started, spreading around, and my brother was selling that too in elementary school. I was like, I'll catch your percentage. But take in mind, he's like very little at that time. So we are 5 years apart. I'm 5 years older than him.
Okay.
So we always had that chemistry, and now it translated to the project that we're currently building. So it's a bond that we having since the young age. And we understand each other pretty well. We complement each other. And my youngest brother, he's also involved in the project. He's more like the back end DevOps, cybersecurity, extremely smart as well. But yeah, so we teamed up, and we started just studying and researching this entire industry, looking from the biggest companies to the small ones, all the solutions that they currently have, and the market as a whole. And initially we started looking at the customer pain points, because that's when the solution, and this when everything was found, by being ourselves on the side of the road. As we begin building it, we realized, okay, now we have our MVP. We started talking to the average Joe and just the issues that they may have, and how should we come and build a product together. What you don't like about your big insurance providers is AAA, if it's State Farm, what are the issues that you currently have? And then, and this was in Houston. Take in mind, this all started, we were on the side of the road in Houston. I started there, but then we realized, okay, one of the biggest cities, which is also in most need, is LA. So it's Houston, LA, and Dallas. And since LA, you have also Silicon Valley here, and California is a tech hub. So we made the move to come here during the pandemic. Well, so when everything was shut down.
When everyone was leaving.
When everyone was leaving, when everything was shut down, no restaurants, everything closed. We were here. We made the move to come here.